What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing, big guy? Yeah. Being good? Yeah. You're a good boy. There's a bunch of kitties out there. Bunch of kitties. Another one over there in the corner. How's everybody doing today? Came in to get my monster. No, it's not a paid promotion. Thought I would maybe go outside and burn some stuff in my yard before I have to go back over to my work for a little bit, although I'm not going to be there long. Let's walk out here in the yard. There's our little fig tree. We used to have a really big one. I like big one. But when the house that was here burnt down, they cut the fig tree down, and miraculously that one started growing again. So that's pretty cool. Gonna burn that stuff probably. There's something in my shoe, so I'm about to sit down and get whatever's in my shoe out of it. Ow. Before I start doing anything, because I'm not walking around with something in my shoe that's not my foot. Yeah, I know, I'm boring right this second. I'm retying my shoe. Alright, let's go see if we can get this stuff to start burning. See if anybody decides to tune in today. It's not gonna, yeah, brightness up. See if I can get something to start burning here. We'll see. It's kind of windy, I don't know. We'll see what happens here shortly. There's a little bit of fire there. Just some trash that ended up in the yard. I don't even know how it got here, but it got here. So we're gonna try to get rid of it. Sit my monster down and stream with you guys for a little bit. It's pretty warm out here. I'm in North Georgia. There's a kitty over there. There's always a kitty out here. There's like 15 of them here because my family is into animal rehabilitation and rescue. LOL, what? Dot, dot, dot. Got a little bit of fire going. We're gonna burn this trash that ended up in my yard somehow. Dude, I'm not doing anything that gets me banned from YouTube, and I appreciate you not suggesting things that are gonna get me banned from YouTube. I'm in North Georgia. Where's everybody watching from? I like to know where, the people that are watching me are watching from. I like everybody to say hi, Let me know you're here. But for now, we're just gonna burn this stuff, and then, I don't know, I might talk about some random stuff for a little bit. Get over here in the shade, it's warm. It's just like any other live people. Hey, what's up, old helmet? You were on my stream this morning. Cool, yes, fire. I'm off work. I have to go back over there in a little while to make sure everything's okay, but I think everything's okay, and I'm pretty much done for the day. I don't even know what time it is, like 2:42. Yeah, I appreciate you coming back, man. Cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. All this trash ended up in my yard, and I decided now is the time I'm going to get rid of it. I'm just going to burn it. If it'll burn. We'll see. I like fire. It's like one of my favorite things on the planet. So yeah, cool. Anything y'all would like to talk about while we're randomly sitting here watching this fire? I'm just relaxing for the moment. I got to go back over to the farm at about 5, check on everything. Doubt I'll have to do anything. pretty much everything's already been done that needs to be done today. So, blah, blah, blah. I'm boring, I know. It's all good. I'm a very boring person. I live a pretty boring life. I've already done all the exciting stuff too. We do chickens and ducks and goats and pigs and a lot of firewood. There's a lot of upkeep, a lot of repair that has to be done. I do most of that. Thank you for the compliment, Kalia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Thank you for that compliment. I appreciate it. Hello, Get Fit. How are you? Where are you watching from? Where's everybody watching from? I'm in North Georgia, United States. I kind of like to know where everybody's from. It's starting to burn pretty good. I think I'm going to back up and move out of this smoke because it's warm. Hello, Janice. How are you? No matter where I go, the smoke follows me. Oh no. Janice, Janice, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Yes, fire. I am burning things. Oh, that's cool that you bought a farm. I actually work on the farm that is literally right across the street from my house, so I have the shortest commute to work out of anyone unless you work from home, which I do that too. I've had a couple of people from New York. I think you might have been the third person from New York that's tuned in. So that's cool. You know, now that I start burning things, it gets really windy, of course. But that's burning pretty good. Let me go get my monster. Gimme. Back to the fire. We'll watch it for a little bit. The wind will keep the smoke out of my face. I'm not sure if your name is pronounced Janice or Janice. Jonas. But I'm glad to have you here. Where are you watching from? I'm in North Georgia. Lived in Georgia most of my life. I have lived a couple of other places. I lived in Alabama for a little bit. I lived in Louisville for a little bit. I lived in Texarkana, Arkansas for a little bit. Yeah, the fire's going pretty good. I don't expect it to last all that long. But let it burn while it does, unless it gets crazy out here and something catches on fire. I intend, right where that spot is, to build an actual fire pit and put some chairs out here. I just haven't done it yet. We've got concrete blocks back there and some wood over there, and one shed over there, one building over there. We've got the old shed. This shed's been here for well over 100 years. My family's owned this property for over 100 years. There's the house. There have been 3 houses on this property now. The first one was really old, like I said, about 100 years old. And then we put another place here, and earlier this year, it burnt down. We still don't exactly know the cause of why it burned down, but it burnt down. And now we have this one. And then something's popping in that fire, I don't know what. And back here we have, some fencing. We're gonna do some gardening with that. And then around back there's another building back there. We keep tools and stuff in that one, and tools and stuff in that one, and that one's full of old stuff. We don't go in that one too much. But back that way behind the buildings there's trails, and this property goes, I don't know, forever back in the woods. There's a bunch of trails. If you follow the trails, eventually you come to a waterfall. It's pretty cool. One day I'll probably walk out there. We've got a shelter over there for the cats outside if it starts raining, because, you know, we do animal rescue and rehabilitation here too. Mostly cats, but like 2-3 weeks ago, we had a squirrel that we rehabilitated and released back into the wild. It was a baby. So somebody's coming down that road rather quickly on a motorcycle. You know, everybody usually goes pretty slow through here, but he slowed down. It's a curvy road out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that fire's burning okay. I've got some other stuff I could have put on it, but I just wanted to get rid of this for now. Checks and balances, huh? How you doing? Cars reduce the risk of heart attack by 33%. I mean, I suppose that's true compared to running, but it increases the risk on other things, I suppose. Checks and balances. Where are you watching from? What state? Ah, cats. Yes, cats do reduce the risk of heart attack significantly. I don't know about a third, but I'd probably agree with that. Can't leave this fire burning here by itself, or I would go show you guys a bunch of the animals. New York, cool. I've had 2 people in here from New York today. I'm in North Georgia. And just so everybody knows, my channel is not monetized. I don't make any money off this. I don't ask for subscribers or likes or anything like that. I do have a channel that has a bunch of shorts on it, some pretty cool stuff, old cars. I'm into collecting coins, so there's some stuff on there about that. Big machinery, you know, cranes, dump trucks, stuff like that. And lots of videos of animals that we've helped. And if you check my community page on my channel, there's a picture of that baby squirrel we rehabilitated to... He was on my head. He was standing on my head, literally on the top of my head. What looks dry? Checks and balances. What are you talking about? Give you a second to respond. Not, we'll talk about something else. It's kind of warm out here. I didn't really feel like burning stuff, but here I am. Throw some of this stuff in the fire. It's pretty hot, so I don't want to get real close to it, but we can throw that in there. Well, I tried. Get in there. There's a bowl in there. I don't know how that got in there. Did we name the squirrel? Yes, his name is George. And he's still around here. Yeah, the squirrel's name is George. I don't know how we came to that name. We don't have names still. I posted a... We have a couple around here that, I don't know, it said that I lost my connection for a second. Anyways, I was saying, we have a couple of cats around here, kittens, that we haven't named yet. If you look at my channel, there's a couple of videos of me going, you know, showing a couple of the kittens and saying, help us name these animals. We're open to suggestions. Yeah, man, we always release them. And the cats, we find them good homes. We've had a couple of dogs. We found them good homes. We don't overcrowd. We don't take in too many at a time. That way we can actually spend time with each one and make sure that they're taken care of properly. There's a school bus coming down the road and a couple of cars. You don't usually see a whole lot of traffic out here. It's, we're way out in the middle of nowhere in North Georgia, near the mountains. And yeah, we just kind of do our thing, work, take care of animals. I started live streaming almost a week ago. I haven't done that many. I did one this morning. There's a guy in here that was in one of my streams this morning. That's cool. I don't know any good cat names. If you had a duck that needed a name, you could call it Inspector Quackers. I will keep that in mind, because on the farm that I work on across the street, back on the other side of the house, I'll walk over there in a minute, we have ducks, and we have started to name them, and I think Inspector Quackers is going to be good. We're going to use that. But yeah, if you're fine for a minute, if you look over there on the Side of my house, there's a house in the background, and back behind it, there's about 150 to 200 chickens. And on the other side, on the left, there's about 30 ducks, and there's some goats back there, and there's a couple of pigs back there. We don't have any cows right now, but most of the ducks, we end up selling them, but we name them because people actually keep them as pets. So Inspector Quackers is awesome. Let's walk around the yard for a bit. Got some cool statues out here. I'll show you guys in the yard. So the first one I'm going to show you over here is a frog that is wearing a purple cape, and it has a dragonfly in its pocket. And my father painted this. He passed away earlier this year. But if you look down at the bottom, you see it says WZ 2014. My father painted this in 2014, and he has this cool, I don't know if you can see it, he has this cool dragonfly in his pocket there. That's pretty cool, I thought. Yeah, I did like that helmet. That was cool. And this is a face that is carved into stone that my father carved by hand. I used that as my profile picture, actually. So that's where that came from. He said that he wasn't finished with it. He passed away before he was finished carving it. But as you can see, it's solid stone and all hand carved and really cool. Yeah, my dad was awesome. I'm pretty artistic musically. I can draw a little bit, but he was better musically and artistically, like drawing and painting. He was way better than me. So yeah, I'll never get rid of those. We'll walk out here and look at some more of the statues. There's, I don't know, like 5 more out here, 6 more out here. They're kind of down the line for the most part on the front yard, kind of next to the road, but pretty good ways from the road. That's a Buddha. He's pretty cool. Next we have Mr. Frog. My family's had this for about 60 years. It's a cool little frog, concrete frog. He's been around forever. And down here we have, because I live in Gainesville, Georgia, and Gainesville, Georgia is the chicken capital of the world. We have old chicken that we've had for years and years and years. And then, so that was the new well house, which we don't use anymore because we're actually on city water now. But this over here is where the old well house was, and this well goes like 1,500 feet in the ground. It's been filled in now. But we have these cool orange seahorses. And you can see down in there, that well used to go like 1,500 feet in the ground. My family's been trying to fill it in for years and years. Then randomly over here, there's a mirror sitting against a tree that's been there for as long as I can remember. Doop mirror. And then over here on top of the old well house, we have a UGA Bulldog, University of Georgia Bulldog statue. We'll get to that in a second. We've got the pumpkins here. That's fairly new. We've got the UGA Bulldog that we've had so long that the red paint has come off of it, and there's a Joro spider on it, a big one. But that is really old, really old. So we've had that basically my whole life, as long as I can remember. That's cool. Got pecan trees up there. We've got an old Volkswagen Beetle, 1973 Super Beetle that me and my family are working on. It's covered up right now because it's going to rain soon. That old building over there has been there for over 100 years. My uncle's aunt painted a peace sign on this building when he was about 6 years old. And he is 56 or 57 now. And so 51 years ago or so, that peace sign was painted there on that piece of tin that has been there literally for way more than 50 years. This building is really, really old. It's over 100 years old. You can see the wood. It's had a couple of tin roofs put on it. That roof that's on there is probably 30 years old. Go check on the fire again. Let's see. I grew up in a house that was built in 1834 in Ohio. I had the best well water. Yeah, I love well water, Helmet. Sadly, where I live, they made it where you can't have well water anymore. You have to have city water because apparently wells can be dangerous. At least they think out here. But all right, I miss the well water. It tasted way better than the city water that's got all the fluoride and treatment chemicals and everything in it that I think is really bad for you. But you know, I'm Gen X, so you know, we grew up outside all day long drinking from the water hose, and everybody's like, oh my god, you drank out of a water hose? Yeah, we did. And we went outside and we played until it got dark. And when I was a kid, my dad had this giant set of wind chimes in the backyard. And when I say giant, imagine like a 3-inch wide pipe, and the shortest one of the chimes was like 6 feet long, and it hung from this big branch on this tree. And my father, he would go out in the backyard. All the kids would be out in the woods playing, like no supervision. We didn't have supervision. And when it was time for all the kids to go home, he would go out there and he would swing one of those wind chimes into the other ones, and it would go bong really loud, and then it would make a bunch of noise because it hit all the other ones. And you could hear it for, I would guess, over half a mile. And that was when everybody went home. Like when the wind chimes went off, all the kids knew it was time to go home. And all the neighbors knew. Like they all were in agreement. And we didn't live close to each other back then. Like I said, we were all spread out, but you could hear those wind chimes for like half a mile. And my dad would ring those wind chimes, and all of us kids were like, oh, it's time to go home. You know? And we go home, and nobody was worried about people with guns or people kidnapping the kids or people being scared that the kids in the woods are, you know, they're going to get hurt. Like, it wasn't like that back then. Growing up in the 80s and early 90s. Like, I was born in the early 80s. And I'm not old, you know, but I'm getting there. I've been through a lot. But let's see. We had a big antique school bell that my dad rang when it was time to come in and out of the woods. That is so awesome, Helmet. Like, similar, but I mean, slightly different, but same concept. That's awesome. Yeah, so. Helmet, did you say you were in Northwest Georgia? I don't remember. I think that's what you said. I move, the smoke moves. I move, the smoke moves. And I would love to have grown up in a 1830s house. I had a friend who, he grew up in they turned it into a big house, but originally it was an orphanage in Helen, just outside of the city limits of Helen, Georgia, which is more north than I am. And he had a whole wing of that house to himself, and it was built in the 1850s, I think. That was awesome. And, you know, his family still owned it up until recently. They finally tore it down, sold it, and all of his family died, and he needed the money, so he ended up selling the property. But he took me in there and let me look around, and dude, the amount of antiques in that place, and there was so much stuff in there. It was cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, Northwest Georgia. You said almost on the state line. I remember. Yeah, I'm in North Georgia, Hall County area, Gainesville, just on the outskirts of Gainesville, almost in Pendergrass. And I had been living before we ended up with this place, which was my family's. I lived in Cleveland, Georgia, White County, Georgia, for a while. But I've lived all over the place: Texarkana, Alabama, Louisville, Kentucky. You know, just, we move around. I don't know what this is in my yard. some kind of styrofoam. Man, I don't know how all this trash ends up in my yard. Just, I come back and it's here. I try to keep it picked up. As you can see, we got to cut the grass one more time, but other than some water containers and buckets and stuff, like, we keep this place pretty clean. We got, you know, stuff back here we're building stuff with, but it's not, we keep it up. Why am I getting emails right now? I don't care. Los Angeles County declares state of emergency over immigration raids. Prince Andrew to stop using titles, including Duke of York. I'm getting news notifications. So, yeah. Apparently the British royal family, some of them are going to stop using their titles. Prince Andrew. And people in Los Angeles are rioting currently, apparently. I'm a very, very long way from Los Angeles. I live on the East Coast. That's the West Coast. So yeah, I'm at about 26 minutes. Normally I go for about 30 unless there's, you know, engagement. People want to talk about things. There's people on here. So if you guys want me to stay on, give me something to talk about. My phone's at like 66%. I still got time. The fire's about out. I could go over there and move things around and make it burn more, but I just don't think I'm going to. Honestly, I have absolutely no desire to visit the majority of California, especially LA. Like, I might go to Silicon Valley just to check things out, just because my original background from when I was much younger was, you know, information technology, networking, security systems, access control, point of sale, stuff like that. I did all that when I was younger. My family owns an electrical business, my dad's family. So I grew up, you know, with that, but other than that, I had a cousin. He lived out in California for a while, but I don't know what part. He said it's really pretty out there, man. But like, and I'm not saying this. I'm quoting what he said. He said people out there are crazy. Yeah, I've been a lot of places too, but I've never been to California. I think the furthest west I've ever been was Montana. Pretty sure. Or, like, I lived in Arkansas and I spent some time in Texas because I lived right on the Arkansas-Texas border. Texarkana. So, you know, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texarkana. And literally I could walk 5 minutes down the street and cross a road and I would go from being in Arkansas to being in Texas. It was that close to get from Arkansas to Texas. And Texas is really big. For anybody that's not ever been to Texas, you don't think it's that big until you get there. Texas is huge. And they don't play around out there either. Like, they're not, don't go out there messing with nobody trying to steal anybody's stuff, man. They'll show you real quick. They do not like that at all. Are you a veteran, Helmet? And if you are, I see Lackland Air Force Base, but what branch? I have a bit of military background myself, and I come from a military family. So I respect everyone, and thank you for your service, everyone. Air Force. I had an uncle. He lives in Indiana. He was Air Force. Name's Marlin. My father was an Army Ranger. I contracted with the Marines, and that's all my dad's family. Their other brother, David, he's passed away now. He was in the Navy. And then on my mom's side, I have an uncle who was Army, retired Army. And yeah, like I said, I contracted with the Marines, so cool. Thank you for your service. If you don't mind me asking, what was your MOS? Fire's about out. A fire that's about out is kind of boring, so we're gonna walk. There's a kitty over here. Just so you guys can see me for a second. Oh yeah, a lot of my family served. There's probably, total, if I count my grandparents and some cousins, there's probably 10 people in my family that served. I'm gonna sneeze. Something just blew up in the fire. I don't know what. Oh, nice. Air transportation. Actually, my father in the Army, before he took a Ranger contract, was a aviation mechanic. That's what he started as, was aviation mechanic. And it's crazy because, like, they don't tell you this when you join. When you're a mechanic in the Army, you fix something. If you're the mechanic, you take the plane or the helicopter up and make sure that it works correctly before you give it back to whoever's supposed to be flying it. And my father had never flown, so he went up with someone and he learned real quick. But dude, he moved everything. You ask if I deployed, and I'm going to answer that by saying that it is probably for the best that I don't go into that. Just know that my background is in technology, and I have to be very careful about what I say about that still. So sorry, but I'm respectfully going to decline to answer that question. Sorry, man. Spiders out here. That fire is smoking crazy. I'm gonna make a lap around the house because why not? Walking's good for you. I'm still young enough that I don't have a problem walking. I have the hiccups, apparently. As you can see, I still keep my hair fairly short. It's too sunny for me to do it, the camera that way. Let's turn it back around. Somebody in a big Dodge. There they go. Now that I'm on this side of the property, there's that other building I was talking about. There's a pecan tree right there. And over on the other side of those cars that you see, on the other side of those cars that you see, is the farm that I work at. Helmet, you seem like a good guy. I'm glad you're here. If I may ask, and you don't have to tell me, of course, but you said you were into air transportation. What was that like? I'm just walking around the house, checking out the property. I don't feel like walking down the trails because there's a bunch of spiders out there and I haven't had time to clear them out, or I would take you guys down there. My sinuses are starting to go nuts. Don't know what that's about. Let's see what this notification is I got. Oh, Google wants me to remix some of my photos that I took. Oh, so you guys know, here maybe tomorrow, I don't know yet, I'm gonna go find a waterfall or a park or something, like if I have service out there. I don't know that I'm gonna have service out there. If not, I'll take shorts and post them on my channel. There's I don't know, 50 or so short videos on my channel. I'm getting kind of hungry. It's about 3:12. I haven't eaten lunch yet. I haven't eaten since early this morning. Had some eggs and a piece of ham and some coffee. So I'm starting to get kind of hungry. Yeah, those are just barrels we use for random things out here. And the old propane tank that we don't use anymore, and some fencing. I will walk down to the edge of the fence line right quick. There is pretty good, it's not a drop off, but it's like a kind of a grade that goes down, and I did everything from load aircraft to load planning, a lot of hazmat, and did joint inspections. Oh, nice. So you were working with airborne Rangers. How long did you serve? That's cool. Did you have to have special certifications, or was it just included in your training for the hazmat stuff? Because I've known some people that were truck drivers and logisticians to be. Even prescription medications, you have to have special licensing to get on a truck now. A good friend of mine is a logistics coordinator for a transportation company up here in North Georgia, and they have people that go all the way from Canada through the entire United States to Mexico. Oh man, it sucks. I'm sorry you got hurt. Um, you get full retirement, full benefits, and everything. I hope so. Here in a second, we'll go check on that fire again. I'm pretty sure it's out, but it was smoking when I left. Not real concerned about it going anywhere, but yeah, I figured there was some kind of hazmat truck driver. There's a endorsement for it. I never had that. I had some clearance when I was there because I worked on a lot of electronics, a lot of networking stuff way before everything was like public internet. I'm like ARPANET, stuff like that. Crazy. I'm glad you got full benefits, man. You deserve it. You spend your time, you give it to your country. They need to look out for you. It's sad to me that so many veterans are in such bad situations. I was in a really bad situation for a long time, and I've managed to make it, not as wild as I used to be either. So I guess that helps. I don't know. Honestly, I loved my time dealing with that stuff, but that part of my life is over. And I don't think I want to go back to it anytime soon. I mean, I guess I could still go do some stuff as an independent contractor, but I just don't feel like doing it. I'd rather go work on the farm and relax at this point in my life. I've had more going on than people realize. Especially the last 15 years of my life, it's been pretty hectic. But I have made it. Alright, well, it looks to me like nobody's here. I'm going to let this run to about 40 minutes or so, and then I suppose I'll go and get something to eat. I'm hungry. I'll go right up there and in that door. Oh, let's see if there's some kitties up here since I'm up here. I can do that. There's one kitty sleeping. Let's not scare it too bad. What are you doing? What are you doing, little one? What are you doing? Oh, you see them claws. Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you. That's one that we take care of. There's another one over there in the corner. Yes, we always leave food out for them. There's another one. This one's pretty friendly most of the time. What are you doing, little one? Good kitty. You're purring. Yeah. Yeah. Good kitty. Good kitty. Purr, purr, purr. We've got 3 up here. 2 kittens. Different litters. Same mama. Little one. Mama Sunshine. Ooh, yellow kitty there. Yeah, that's totally true. He's probably gonna get into. I'm about to go inside and make something to eat. I'm about done with all my chores for today. I gotta go back over to the farm in a little bit. I'm gonna turn this TV down because it's kind of loud. There's Duke. What you doing, Duke? Hey, buddy. Oh, fat boy. Oh, yeah. Good scratches. Oh, yeah. Good scratches. He snorts like a pig. Snorts like a pig. Oh, did I offend you by stopping rubbing you? I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. You're a cutie. You're a good dog. Fat boy. He's about 10 years old. Oh, yeah, man. I'm probably going to eat something, and then I might get back on in a little while. You're welcome to join back later if you want. I'm going to go myself. So you guys have a good day, and I appreciate the sub. I don't even know how to tell you to you know, activate the notifications. Like I said, I don't really ask anybody for anything on here. I just like talking to people and talking about random things. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. And I will catch y'all in a little while. See you later.